honor and privilege of meeting and doing something to be a part of with this upcoming meet that I'm about to fly out to in Detroit. With that being said, I'm gonna, Detroit is something that I felt there was an opportunity that was given upon me to by a friend of mine, a good friend, David the Beast Douglas. He took time to vouch for me, to talk to the promoters and whatnot, the people that run it, and said, hey, we'd like to have this guy come out here. And it was real humbling for me because it is, it's a big, prestigious, to me, a prestigious chance to give back, to raise money for a really great cause, be a part of something that's like I said is way bigger than myself, and going through that process, it's really taught me some stuff. It's taught me that there are people out there in worse off situations. It's taught me recently to be a little bit more humble. I know I get a lot of feedback from the machine, the guy that's at Venice, the guy that wants to battle the Hulk and other stuff like that. I just want to take time to there's the machine, and then there's Leroy Walker, and as they're two of the same people. We do stuff sometimes for camera, we do stuff for show, but at the end of the day, you can't take all that stuff with you. I want to be remembered by a legacy of someone that paid it forward, that was humble, that was softer spoken, that take time to do the right thing. Because through this thing, whether it's powerlifting or weights or whatever you want to call it, life, there's always a chance. You always get a second chance. We are always given the God-gifted ability to turn over a new leaf, to ask for forgiveness and the rights and wrongs and things that we've done, and to learn from mistakes. And so with that being said, I've learned a lot to just humble myself and to really take time to give it back, and like I said, to pay it forward. And I'm really looking forward to going out to Detroit, putting up some big numbers, but I'm not really, this is probably the most rewarding experience that I think I'm about to experience. I don't think I can put an emphasis on how much there isn't an emphasis on. I don't really go into this meet expecting to hit huge numbers. I'm really kind of humble just talking about it. It's like you see kids that can't walk or might not have another week or two or a month left, and it's like the strength that these kids got to come up with on a day-to-day basis just to make it through life is so much stronger than anything I can do on the bench. And at the end of the day, who am I to go in there and pound on my chest and lift 5, 6, whatever pounds, because that's irrelevant. It's just about being strong for these kids and showing them that that you always, just whatever chance you're given, just make the best of it, live life to the fullest. And that's what I want to take with me going into Detroit, because I know they're going to live one more day, and if I can make that a happier day, as they're going to make it a happier day for me, that's something I'm just glad to be a part of.
How pretty. Say hello, Leroy. I'm filming you. Here we are at Kirby Church for Relentless Detroit with courtesy of Rhonda. And what's your name? I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Mike.
Mike. Thank you so much. So here we are, getting ready. Leroy, say hi.
Hello.
For the red carpet event. The kids are going to be entering really soon, one by one, on the red carpet that they put together for the kids. This is everybody that's waiting for the kids to arrive.
Just like that. Right here, Monty.
We're here with Leroy Walker, 2 days after his big 675 lift at Relentless Detroit. All right, Leroy, what are your thoughts on the trip before and after?
My thoughts on the trip, Relentless was more than I probably have time to put in words. I'd say it was everything I thought it'd be and a whole lot more. Going into it, I was focused on wanting to have a good meet. I wanted to be really focused on the toy drive, on the fundraising side of it, and just to go grow as a person. So I'd say going into it, I had a lot of expectations, but as each day got closer and closer, I learned that you need to kind of put the expectations aside and just go with whatever feels right, whether it's your involvement with the kids when you're on stage, whether it's your involvement with the people and the community or whoever's putting on the event. You just gotta sometimes you can't have everything so scripted. And I think that's the biggest thing I came up with, that just knowing just to be able to just go with the flow and sometimes put your expectations aside for a greater cause.
All right. Leroy, the Machine Walker. Forward to Leroy. Here comes the Machine. It's one strong man right here. Here we go. Come on, Machine.
What did you think of your prep work for Relentless?
My prep work for Relentless, going into this meet, I felt that I was a lot more dialed in. I feel this is something definitely I'm gonna do before bigger meets, is do a prep work meet like I used the Metro Fletch meet to work on some different things after the Venice meet. The Venice meet was a bigger meet to me, and so by doing the Metro, it helped me work on some prep work stuff, some things I knew I had to work on. So I felt the prep work for this was really good. I think I only had one bad training session throughout the camp, and that's something that you just got to learn to deal with. Sometimes you're gonna have adversity. You're gonna have days you don't feel like lifting. You're gonna have days you don't feel you can hit your PRs if that's what your goal is that day. But I think the biggest thing is just to go in with a game plan and to be able to be flexible. And that's something that this prep camp really, this training camp really enforced, just being able to go in with a game plan for that day or for that week, and being able to change it up based on how you're feeling that day and what you think is gonna work, what you need to get more dialed in. So I feel the prep work for this was probably better than any other, and I'm not saying it just because of the results, but the prep work, it's like as you get your training cycle and your meet prep throughout a year, what your list of your meets are going to be, it helps you, just get more focused and dialed in and stuff like that. So I felt the prep work was phenomenal for this meet. Let's give it up for Leroy the Machine Walker.
What did you take from this experience as a lifter and as a person?
As a lifter, it comes back to prep work. I think if you go into any meet and you put in the necessary, not so much the cliche, the put in the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears. It's much more than that. I think you got to go in with a sense of purpose, and you got to go in. You're gonna get in. You're gonna get out of it what you put in, and what I mean by that is if you go in with every day you come in, you're focused, you're dialed in, you have great sessions, and you hit your marks in the gym, nothing's gonna come as a surprise. So there isn't a formula. There's nothing you can do. That you can't go in a gym and try to hit a number consistently, like work out with I'll just throw numbers out there, 400 or 500 pounds, and never touch anything close to what you want to max, and then go in and hope to have success with that. You gotta steadily, gradually get to close to where you want to be, and it just comes down to your training. You got to be able to fall back on your training and trust that your training is going to guide you through, and that you put in enough work and you hit numbers close to what you think you're going to do in the meet. So when you get to the meet, you can't just try to just psych yourself out and get overhyped on stage and then hope you're going to hit some number that you've never been prepared for in the gym. That's the biggest thing I think I learned, going into this as a lifter. As a person, it's mind-blowing, the effects that you have, the effects that seeing people give relentlessly, through joy, through faith, through love, just living life relentless, not holding back, having no fear to put it all out there, no fear to have failures, to have setbacks, and know that that's where a lot of your success is going to come from, both on the platform and off the platform. You got to be able to learn from your mistakes and just grow from them as a person. I learned more in the meet. I learned more from the Metro meet bombing the 650 than I did by making 630. I learned more about just what it means to be there as a person. It's just being accountable, holding yourself to a higher standard, and being accountable to telling someone that you're going to be able to follow through with raising a certain amount of money, with keeping your word to our organization, to having follow through, to giving back to the community, just to just live life as a good person. I take a lot from this meet, and it's really going to help me be a much stronger person and many more meets to come.
There you go. All right. It's time to make some chaos, I guess. Here we go. Whoa!
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
There it goes. Good job, I guess.
plans moving forward?
My plans moving forward right now is just to deload, take some time off, get regrouped, feel to dial in and see what really worked for me, see what areas of my last training cycle I can cut out. I want to come in, you know, more focused, just relentless. You know, I really feel that there's going to be some work to be done, but I think the results are going to be great. I really feel that we're going to see 700 pounds at Fit Expo easily. I don't even have so much confidence. I don't even think it's going to be a struggle. I don't want to sound overly confident, but there's some stuff that I'm going to work on with my team. Some stuff I'm going to be happy to share with you guys going into it right now. But right now, I really want to just, you know, get it dialed in. And I think the future is going to be bright for both myself, for, you know, Team M-Town, for Dante, for everybody that's just going to choose, you know, to stick together and commit to a certain way of a certain style of training, a certain way of life, and just, you know, just being well-rounded, not so one-dimensional, not just focused on lifting heavy, not just focused on volume, not just focused on carbs or protein, just making everything a balance and just being accountable, being more accountable to your partners, being more accountable to people at work, your spouse, your brother, your sister, just knowing that just everything's got to come together, because you could have a falling out with family, you can have a falling out at work, you can have something that's going to interfere with your training cycle, and how you're going to adapt to overcome. And that's the thing I learned at Relentless. You have these kids that go through, I can't even put into words the strength and courage that these kids come face on a daily basis. And it's so much more than throwing weights on a bar, getting up when you're sore. And these guys are fighting for life every single day. And just to see that kind of passion, that relentless drive that they have, it just humbles you and makes you stronger, and it just makes you more determined to be all you can be, to go above and beyond for your fellow man, your fellow woman, your brother, your sister, whoever it is that's in your life that's important to you. Just be accountable and just live life by example. And with that being said, I think the future is going to be very, very bright, and I look forward to, you know, just putting big lifts, big numbers, and doing, you know, more good deeds in this year to come.
675 pounds.
Coming up in December. December 7th, Muscle Beach, Venice, you know, the home of M-Town, one of our favorite places to lift. And I'd love to, happy to share, to give back this year. We have a huge toy drive that's going to be, you know, hosted and put on by Joe Wheatley. That's a Joe Wheatley production. We're going to, you know, just bring an unwrapped toy. There's going to be a curl competition for you people who want to actually get out there and get involved and get on the platform. More importantly,
Something we're also going to kick off as a joint venture with the Drop of Life Foundation. We're going to go out, do some outreach stuff in the community, give some water, give some scriptures, give some donations. If you want to volunteer, if you want to be a part of this movement, you can get the information at the end of this YouTube broadcast.
Link will be in the description box.
Yeah, the link will be in the description box, and just be relentless. Just have no fear. Just throw your ambitions to the side and just come out and join and help a good cause. But until then, live strong, stay big, make peace with the pain.